Welcome to the Cigar Rebel community, where indulgence meets authenticity. This is more than a podcast. It's a gathering place for those who savor life's luxuries with unapologetic passion. Here we celebrate the fine art of living through rich flavors, bold spirits, exquisite cigars, and unforgettable experiences.
Awesome. Welcome, Cigar Rebels, to the podcast. I'm Mel.
And I'm Kevin, and we're coming to you live tonight from Southeast Oklahoma with an episode, Fireside Philosophy.
Yes, so this is our last episode of the year. I cannot believe we are entering into 2026.
It's been a big surprise. It's so fast.
I know, so fast. So before we start off on our podcast topic today, I wanted to talk about a few of our favorite things regarding, for me, it'll be the podcast of this year. And then for you, it can be whatever you decide.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, probably my favorite thing of 2025 is meeting many of you guys up in New England at the New England Cigar Expo, at some of the cigar shops we've traveled to, many of you fans that are from Story Cigars and Lounge. It's just been a great year since we launched the podcast almost a year ago now. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to believe that this is episode 40-something.
Yeah, so I was going to say for me, starting the podcast was definitely a highlight of the year. And then also watching the community that has been built, not even in a year, has been awesome. So if you are watching tonight with us, go ahead and drop in the comments what some of your favorite things about 2025 have been. Also, if you are excited for 2026 / how you are feeling about it being 2026.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited about 2026. We have a lot of great things coming up. We've got episodes planned through the first half of the year. Several guests we're working on bringing on that we think you guys are going to really enjoy, from cigar shop owners to reps to brokers to cigar manufacturers, as well as a few other surprises coming up here in the next few weeks. But we're really excited about 2026. And we've got some really great things planned out for Cigar Rebels, for the Elevated Humidor. But Mel, let's think about the topic tonight.
Yeah, so this is our episode, Deep Thoughts Over Cigars. So we are going to be including discussions about the new year, some new goals, and also setting the goal of slowing down and enjoying 2026.
Absolutely. Leslie, good to have you on tonight. So I love in our background. We are as well. As we said before at the top of the show, we're in Southeast Oklahoma with our family. This is the deck on the house Airbnb. So we're traveling a little bit tonight. And it's always fun to do one of these episodes when we're on the road. Equipment is always different, but definitely one of those things that is enjoyable, maybe a little stressful, but worth it in the end. Right, Mel?
Yep. So
before we get too far into the show, want to ask, what are we smoking tonight?
So tonight we are smoking the Fuente 858. This one has got a Cameroon wrapper and then Dominican binders and Dominican fillers. So Kevin and I have pre-cut our cigars. I know you've been taking a couple cold draws on that.
Yeah, so the cedar on this cigar just stands out along with a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love this 858. From Arturo Fuente. It is such an excellent cigar.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an awesome cigar. I'm enjoying the cold draw.
Absolutely. And so why don't we go ahead and get this cigar lit? The lighting of our cigar tonight is brought to you by Big Sky Cigar Company.
Back in 1905. Back in 1905, under Montana skies, 107 factories rolled smoke butterflies. Reminders of ranchers' life, one and grin. Now Big Sky Cigar is bringing that spirit back in.
Yellowstone River to the bold bighorn flow. Madison River, like what we know. And leave from Nicaragua, San Andres to the Ecuador rolled up.
And every box soul helps our veterans men. With warriors and quiet waters, we lend a friend's hand. It's heritage burning in every draw. Big Sky Cigars, Montana's pride and law. Big Sky Cigar, where heritage flows with every draw. Find your real red Big Sky Cigar to pop.
Ask your local tobacconist about Big Sky cigars today. If they do not carry them, shops can reach out to Brad Frazier to set up new accounts.
As always, a huge thank you to Big Sky for the sponsoring of the lighting of our cigar. So now that we have it lit, how are you feeling about the cigar now that we've lit?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mel's got a little bit of a cough going tonight. Except the funds of traveling with family over the holidays. No, so far in the initial lighting, it's great. That cedar's still there. There's a little bit more of a richness, but also a creaminess in the smoke. The smoke is very, very creamy. The cigar's not a creamy cigar, but the smoke is really creamy. Really not much else.
Yeah.
Not sure. What do you think?
I agree with that 100% so far.
Yeah, it's been great. Victor Mills says, enjoying watching them. We can't wait to see what y'all have in store for all of us. We got some great things coming, including the Rebel Pack that we're releasing. It launches officially tomorrow.
Yep.
And so we're excited about that. So Dwayne will catch up when they get to the house. Leslie's listening, but he says hello. Appreciate you guys on the episode. And so getting into the topic tonight, Fireside Philosophy. When we planned this trip and this episode, we thought it would be great. We knew this house had a fire pit. We were hoping for this setting. And so it's absolutely perfect. It's a little darker. We apologize. But we felt like this sets the tone and the mood because this episode is about the fireside state of mind. It's that moment when the fire's going, the cigar's lit, and somehow your brain stops spinning like a browser with 47 tab open.
Yeah. And so we have 4 big pillars for tonight. The first one, number 1, is going to be why cigars are a perfect thinker's hobby. Number 2 is going to be why sitting fireside with a cigar forces us to slow down and simply be. Number 3 is going to be Deep Thoughts by Cigar Rebel. And then number 4 is going to be New Year goals and how to stop sprinting in 2026.
Absolutely. And tonight, for those, we are pairing our cigar tonight with Penelope Rio. This is the Dallas Bourbon Club Specs Blend number 2. Was able to find this in Burleson, Texas a few months ago. Absolutely love this bottle. It's a great celebratory bottle for me. I only open it occasionally because you'll never find it again.
Right.
So we're adding a couple of segments in tonight's episode that really fit the vibe of what we're trying to do here at the end of 2025, moving into 2026. It's the fireside questions, a little ritual or check-in with yourself that we think each of you should do over the next few days as we begin to transition into the new year. And then the cigar timer, how cigars teach boundaries without sounding like a self-help book. And we're really excited about that.
Yeah. And if you are listening while you're driving, just a friendly reminder, don't close your eyes and simply be with us. Keep your eyes open. Keep them on the road.
Yeah, please don't. Keep them open. But if you're with us tonight or you're listening on wherever you get your podcast, this is the perfect time to light a cigar, close your eyes, and just listen.
Right. So let's talk about the first pillar. Why are cigars the perfect thinker's hobby?
Well, it's because cigars are one of the hobbies and the few hobbies that really require you to be totally present, 100% in the moment. You cannot power scroll a cigar, Mel.
Yeah, you can try, but you'll just end up overheating, creating a burn issue, or even worse, maybe turning green from trying to smoke your cigar too fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Cigar smoking truly rewards the patient.
Yes.
Those who can actually have a little bit of patience, and it also rewards thinkers. Thinkers are basically people who are trying to make sense of life through patience and pattern recognition. And that's really what we're doing tonight.
Right. And cigars are also slow by design. So even the language around cigars, if you think about it, is slow. So there's draw, rest, aging, wrap, finish. All those are more slower terms.
Absolutely. When you light a cigar, you're agreeing to spend time with yourself And that's a really big deal right now when our entire society is designed around faster, busier, longer times. It's basically designed to keep you from simply being.
Yeah. So a cigar is going to be like that gentle boundary. So basically, you are saying for the next 45 minutes, I am not available for the chaos.
Absolutely. It's a tactile hobby. The feel of the wrapper, the aroma of the tobacco, the texture of the smoke, the cut, the light, the rhythm of the draw, all of it is very tactile.
Right. Which, sorry, go ahead.
No, as I say, it brings your body into the experience, not simply your brain. So you have to actually be in the moment.
100%. And that's also why cigar time is a great thinking time. Your hands are busy, your senses are engaged, and your mind gets just enough quiet to kind of wander into the ideas that it can't reach when you are frantic or in the season of just running in life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what cigar time really reminds me of? It reminds me of fishing or simply sitting in a deer blind.
Yeah, but without the slimy fish drama or what to do with the deer when you have shot it or whatever that is. Because
Yes.
I have never been hunting. I don't plan on ever going hunting.
Yeah, it's so true, but it really is the same energy, though. It really is that time that you sit, you watch, you wait, you don't force it. You have to have patience.
Yes, 100%.
And the waiting doesn't feel wasted. It feels intentional. And I believe cigar time is intentional.
Yeah, I agree. So here's my small and simple of why cigars are a thinker's hobby. So why thinkers love cigars is it forces patience, which we've talked about. It rewards attention. They create space. They build ritual. They invite reflection. And honestly, they encourage conversation that isn't rushed.
Yeah, absolutely. Cigars definitely pair perfectly with silence. A lot of hobbies do not. For years when I lived in Wisconsin, I would drive about 30 miles outside of the city I lived in to this golf course and would play 9 or 18 holes there. And the primary reason I drove that time to get to the golf course, there were 5 or 6 golf courses within 10 minutes of where I lived, but my cell phone didn't work at that golf course. And so it was like 2.5, 3 hours of silence where my phone, my email, my text weren't going crazy.
Yeah. And I would say my cell phone barely works here.
Yeah. It really forced silence. It was a couple of hours I could think, and I could just simply relax and focus on really playing golf, which really the ultimate thing is I didn't love golf. I love the break from chaos.
Yeah, I think that silence is really underrated, to be honest, and especially your own silence. I'm a big fan of taking a break, grabbing a cigar and listening to music, or binging maybe a show that you don't really care about, but you're putting it on. That's going to provide that perfect disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sitting fireside and by a fire this time of year, particularly a smokeless fire pit, or by a big chunk of logs like we had out down the stairs earlier today with the kids. It really changes everything. It's the ability to simply be in the moment, enjoy the time, and stare at the flames. Like I sat this morning for about an hour and a half smoking a cigar while everybody was asleep and just stared at these flames. Yeah. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it really does, having the fire and everything. Fire's kind of like that ancient hypnosis. I mean, earlier today, like you mentioned, we had a fire going and everybody was just great to sit around the fire and to just watch it and talk.
Absolutely. It was a time to stare at the flames, forget what's next on the calendar, that meeting that's coming up, what your kids need for school, and every other thought that swirls in your mind. While we were sitting down there earlier today, the kids used sticks and caught them on fire and just sat there and watched, and we talked about things. And no one was on their phone. No one was playing other than me taking pictures of them. But it really was a wonderful way to just sit there and get away from all the things that swirl in our mind. And I really believe that that's why cigars are the perfect hobby for thinkers.
Yeah, and I would say too that's also healthy, by the way, to have those moments. You do, and for you, I mean, you've always loved staring into the fire, and you comment anytime we've got the solo stove going, anytime we have any sort of fire going, even if it's like one of the Netflix ones, or something like that. That is the one that you can put up on your TV.
I do. I love this time of year, the cooler weather, the crisp air, a nice fire, all those clothes that you look amazing in.
Well, thank you.
I love watching you walk around in them. You look so cozy. But the fireside with a cigar is basically the anti-productivity hobby.
And I 100% support that.
Think about it. Fire has its own tempo. It doesn't care about your calendar. It doesn't accelerate because you're stressed. It simply just burns. It took us a while to get a fire going earlier today, but once it went, it went. And then we were able to keep adding logs to keep the fire going, but it did what it wanted to do. It really didn't take its lead from us.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that's really kind of the same with the cigar. So the cigar doesn't care that you have emails, that you might have people reaching out to you. It only cares if you're puffing too fast and if you ruin it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So really the idea, if you're smoking cigars in a process to sit down and relax, the best thing to do is to match the pace of the cigar. Some tobaccos burn a little faster, some burn a little slower. And a lot of times you'll simply match its pace without even realizing it. Your breath slows, your shoulders drop a little bit, your mind begins to wander, but not about the things you're worried about. It just simply wanders.
Yeah. And I think there's also something about being outside at night, like we've talked about. The world is going to feel bigger. Your problems are going to feel smaller. And even if they're not actually smaller, they feel a little bit more workable.
Absolutely. I think it's why we love the fireside cigar moment. It's not about being fancy. It's about being human. It's about simply being. It's about taking the time to enjoy every draw of the cigar.
Yes, it is 100% the I am not a machine moment of the day.
And I don't know about you guys that are watching live or listening on wherever you get your podcast, but I've noticed that when I sit by a fire long enough, my thoughts begin to come in waves. At first, it's all logistics. Did I lock the door? What's my schedule? Then it moves to the bigger stuff. What am I doing with my time? What does tomorrow look like? What goals do I need in the next 6 months? And then finally, it moves to, let me think about the cigar. What we should do for Mel and I on our next trip. It moves away from busyness to things about being present.
Right, right. Fireside, I feel like, is where your brain finally gets caught up with your life.
That's the line, Mel. That's our fireside philosophy. A cigar fireside is where you're finally getting caught up on life, right?
Yes.
Where your brain can get caught up.
Yes. And I appreciate you noticing that line. I am available for keynote speeches, fireside only, or fire pits as well.
Yeah, so let's do something really different. Let's give our listeners a little fireside permission slip.
All right. So if you're listening now, here is your permission to not optimize anything for 1 hour, not fix anything immediately, which is hard for me to do when I am having a cigar, or not clean anything if I know it's out there. Not respond right away to any texts, not be on for anyone. Just sit and just breathe, relax, enjoy your cigar, and be.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the deal, Rebels. Your cigar does not need you to be efficient. It needs you to be present. And I've said that word present probably 100 times already in this podcast, but I want to get the point across. It is about the moment. The best cigar I have ever smoked is the one I'm smoking.
Yes, 100%.
Right. This 2858 is excellent. I will pay attention during the break so I can pick up some more notes, but I'm not focused on the notes while we're smoking. I'm focused on the draw, the rhythm, the aroma. And that's really what it means to simply be in the moment.
Yeah. And if you are watching live with us tonight, or if you are watching the replay, drop in the comments if you enjoy having a cigar fireside. sorry, I'm coughing, if that has ever been an option for you or something along those lines. So we have more on that and more to come. But first, let's take a quick break.
Absolutely.
We fell in love with cigars, not
Maybe.
We fell in love with cigars not because of the flavors or smoking experience or perceived status, but because it allows barriers to fall between other humans and build deeper connections. For that reason, we've been super intentional to curate a space where people can find community and enjoyment with others, and cigars just happen to be the way we're doing it. For that reason, we are thrilled to be the one and only cigar retail store and lounge in downtown Lufkin. A good story is one of the most powerful tools used to connect with another human. Sharing stories fades out differences and highlights similarities found in the details, or with the storyteller. Over the years, we have seen some of the best stories told over cigars, and thus, new friendships are made, passions shared, encouragement given, and so much more. The impact storytelling has on the human connection is why we've decided to name our store and lounge Stories. Because behind every good cigar and conversation is an even better story.
As always, a thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, thank you for following along with us. We're so thankful for all of our sponsors who support the Cigar Rebels. Also, if you are new to the podcast, go ahead and click that subscribe button or go out to our YouTube channel and you can click on all the notify me's to keep up with all the new episodes, the things that are coming up. That way you don't miss anything. As always, you can also catch us on all of our social media platforms at Cigar Rebels. We'd love to have you along for the ride, sharing your pictures, what you're smoking, what you're pairing. The main thing is we want to continue bringing content that you might enjoy that helps educate you a little bit, gives you a little bit of a laugh, and hopefully lets you slow down and enjoy cigars we're talking about tonight. Let's check on the cigar, Mel. What are you thinking about this cigar?
I'm enjoying it so far. I'm picking up a little bit more, maybe a little bit more spice or pepper on it now.
There's almost a sweet spice to it that's coming out through the cigar. It's not a super strong cigar. I would say it's probably a medium to medium minus at this point. I don't pick up the cedar as I did on the cold draw when we first lit it, and I assumed that would go away. But I am really enjoying the sweet spice. I'm enjoying the earthiness that's there. But overall, this is the natural of the 858's. Pretty mild cigar. The Cameroon with the Dominican binder and filler is just really pretty good. I mean, I've enjoyed every one of these I've ever smoked, and I'm glad it's our final cigar of the year on the podcast.
I know, me too. It's awesome.
So why don't we take a look at what's coming up in the new year?
Yep. Let's look at our upcoming shows.
So 1 week from tonight, on January 5th, the first episode of 2026 is Lounge Etiquette in 2026. Really, it's the unwritten rules that everyone should already know, and we're smoking one of Mel's favorite cigars on that episode, Blackened M81.
Correct. And after that, on January 12th, we are going to talk about cigar dinners, and we will be doing our recap of our 2-year anniversary cigar dinner from Stories, and on that, we will be smoking the Stories #2 anniversary cigar.
The week after that is Cigar Rating System. We're going to be rating cigars and talking about how it's definitely an art. However, there is a system to it, and we want to invite you along the journey. Kind of like they said in Hamilton, wanting to be in the room where it happens. We're going to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit, talk about cigar rating, give you some tools to rate some cigars, and then give you guys, the Rebels out there, an opportunity to rate some cigars and send them in to us, and we're really excited about that.
Yes, and then January 26th, we are talking about the cigar budget. So that's going to be $5, $10, $20 cigars. There's going to be a cigar for every budget. And on that, we are going to be smoking the Garage Force SE by the Elevated Humidor.
And we're really excited. Also want to just throw this up there, the Rebel Pack. It's shipping monthly beginning in January. So that is going to go live tomorrow for you guys to grab and pick up. It'll ship out in time, and it'll have all the cigars, 5 cigars for February. So every month it'll come with 5 cigars for $43, shipping included. And it'll cover all of our episodes. On weeks that we have 4 Mondays, you'll get an extra cigar. And on 5 Monday months, you will get an extra cigar that month. but hopefully it's a great value. We've been getting asked about it, and so we're bringing it to all of those that have asked. If we have 15 or 20 subscribers, or we have 100 subscribers, whatever it is, we're going to get those sent out monthly to you guys. And we've already got some really cool stuff coming up early summer in the Rebel Pack that's going to be pretty spectacular.
Yep. So I'm excited about everything that we have upcoming and some of the new things like you had mentioned with the Cigar Rebel Pack and everything along those lines.
Absolutely. But back to the topic.
Yes. So getting back into our topic, let's add something maybe that's a little bit more practical and not necessarily transactional.
Yeah. So let's talk about some practical philosophy tonight.
Exactly. I think we're going to call this the fireside questions that you can ask yourself, one or two, while you smoke. There's no journaling required unless you want to. There's no pressure. It's just really a check-in for yourself.
I kind of like that. Low commitment, high impact, right? In the fireside questions, we want you to pick one or two of these to ask yourself over the next couple of days, and Mel's going to give you a whole slew of them. But see which one or two speaks to you.
Yes. So let's go through this list of some questions you can ask yourself. There's going to be, what am I avoiding thinking about and why?
I can make a whole list of that.
Yeah. I probably could too. What has been giving me energy lately? What has been draining me lately? If I could make one thing easier next month, what would it be? Who do I need to thank that I haven't thanked enough? What do I
haven't thanked you enough.
Oh, you thank me a lot. Hopefully I thank you a lot too. I feel like I do, but who or what do I miss that I used to do?
Yeah.
What am I proud of from this past year? Really being honest with yourself. And what do I want to feel more often in 2026?
That last one, what do I want to feel more often? That's a big one, because goals are great, but feelings are the compass, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really are what drives how we're doing. The other big question that you really should spend a little bit of time on is, how do you want to slow down and enjoy more cigars in 2026? Mel and I have talked about that a lot over the last 60 days,
mm-hmm.
about wanting to slow down in 2026 and
yeah.
traveling less. We've traveled well over 200 days this year. We would like to travel significantly less in 2026, spend some time more at our home base, focused on the elevated humidor, focused on Cigar Rebel, maybe a trip or two to the factory, but really wanting to be home a little bit more cigar time.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, I think one of our big goals for 2026 is to travel less and slow down a little bit. We talk about it every year, but I feel like we actually started putting it in place as we've gone into 2025 toward the end.
Absolutely.
Really. But if you don't know what you are aiming to feel in 2026 or how you want to plan your time, then life can seem to lead you instead of the other way around. You can build a life that looks good but feels terrible.
Yeah, and Fireside is a place with a cigar where you can speak the truth gently, not harshly, to yourself.
Yes, you can check in with yourself and just be like, hey, friend, we need to have a talk. Or if you have someone that you're there with that maybe you see they're struggling with something, or something maybe that used to bring them joy doesn't anymore, you can even use that time to check in with them.
Absolutely. So Richard asked if we had, if we or other Rebels watching, feel free to answer anybody on the podcast. But we have smoked the fresh out of the oven Figurado. It is absolutely amazing. We do not have a box of it. I've only had a single, but it's definitely something that's box worthy. It's a great choice for that. Looking at those cigars. So jumping back in, it's time to really get into deep thoughts, Mel. So this is going to be Deep Thoughts by Cigar Rebel.
Yes.
It's really a throwback to the 1990s, Saturday Night Live, Deep Thoughts, which was one of my favorite skits they've done of all time.
I love how you had to preface with 1990s instead of, a previous 18 or 1790s. This is from the 1990s.
It was the 90s. I know. When I was old and you were young, all the things.
Well, according to the kids, we're both in the same category now of being ancient.
That's true. We're
According
ancient.
to
I
last
don't know if
night.
any of you guys are ancient, but we are ancient at our house.
So But going back to your topic, this is going to be next to chicken soup for the cigar enthusiast soul.
Okay, and I'm going to go first with deep thought number 1. Sometimes you don't need a new plan. You need a night outside with a fire and a reminder that you're still alive.
Yes. All right. We're starting strong. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys deep thought number 2, and that is going to be a cigar is proof you can enjoy something without monetizing it or making it Facebook official. There are so many cigars that I smoke that I do post quite a few on social media and to our different cigar groups, but there are so many cigars that I smoke that I don't post anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of those things that it's wisdom, what you just said, because so much of our life is it Facebook official? Is it Instagram worthy? And again, we take a picture of a lot of cigars, but we own 3 different cigar companies. So it's one of those things that it's kind of required a little bit, but I don't post it on my personal social media because I really don't focus on that. It's really more on our business socials.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing is Richard mentioned that he had loved meeting Leslie and Dwayne and looks forward to seeing him again in 2026. I agree.
Yep.
Can't wait to spend time with each of you guys. So what's deep thought number 3?
So deep thought number 3 is when you smoke, you realize how many moments of your day that you rush through that didn't require rushing.
Absolutely. Deep thought number 4. If you can't sit still for 30 minutes, that is not a personality trait. It's a symptom.
Yes. And that is a great number 4 from our doctor here.
I'm not saying it with judgment. I'm guilty. For years, I struggled relaxing and just sitting and just being without being busy. The first cruise that Mel and I went on, it was like day 4 before I could finally relax because I was just itching to do stuff. And then it was almost over.
Yeah.
We went on a cruise earlier this year, and we're going on one in about 5 or 6 weeks. And man, I can sit back and have a cigar and just watch the water with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a professional water watcher. Because I've been able to get past that issue. The personality trait was I was a busybody and a workaholic. The symptom was I was always busy, but I've gotten over it.
Right. I feel like going on a cruise and watching water is the same but opposite of when we got a fire going for you to watch.
Yeah.
You could just sit and watch it all day.
Absolutely. And one of the things is being with you has helped change that. You're much slower. You enjoy being at home.
That is true.
You get energized from silence and peace, and I get energized from people. And so it's been really good for us to have a few different things that we've been able to do with that.
Exactly. All right. Deep thought number 5. The best conversations don't happen when everyone is talking. They happen when everybody feels safe enough to pause.
That's so true. The ability to pause and just be is when conversation can go deep, right?
Yep, 100%.
We've seen that so many times around a fire when we were in New England earlier this year with a group of about 12 other people. It was wonderful. We had some great conversations sitting around the fire pit in the back deck of Stories or a friend's house. We've had so many deep conversations for that. Before we get to deep thought number 6, let's deal with a couple of comments. Richard said, Leslie's the one who told me about the Rebels YouTube channel. Thank you, Leslie and Dwayne. Richard, thanks for following along. Says, Kevin, I have to ask, if you have business socials, can you step away from your personal socials? Dwayne nor I do social media. It's fabulous. So I really have, Leslie, stepped away from my personal socials. I don't really post anything on there, rarely. Occasionally I'll post a picture of the kids, but I mean, I've really not been on there hardly at all. I only keep them so that they manage the business socials. I don't really use my personal social for all. My Instagram has 3 pictures from 4 years ago, and my last Facebook picture posted was probably a year ago.
Mine too.
Some people get really frustrated about it, but I don't really want to be on social other than the business stuff that we do. And then Leslie said she can't wait to see Rich. Can't wait to see you guys. We were talking about, Dwayne and I were texting yesterday about a trip to South Carolina to visit some of the cigar shops out there. We've been to the Social and to Greer. We'd like to, in Cameroons and Greer, we'd like to hit both of those again. And so maybe that's one trip we'll take this year in 2026. So deep thought number 6, you don't always need answers. sometimes you simply need space around the questions.
Yes. And I think I'm going to, and all of you guys should write all that down on a napkin so you have it ready to hand to someone dramatically when the moment is right. And you'll know when. You will.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everyone always wants answers all the time, right?
Yep.
So deep thought number 7, which is my personal favorite. Life is too short to save a good cigar for someday. Someday is a scam.
Yes.
If you've got a great cigar, smoke it.
Yes. I think that is 100% a fact. Some days cancels plans. Someday never texts back. And I would also say someday could cause you maybe don't have something could happen to that cigar. So everybody knows, and this is going to be true for me in 2026. For the most part, I do not save cigars. I smoke them pretty regularly, mainly because of that. One we just talked about, but also because if something were to happen to it, if I would have smoked it before, I would have gotten to enjoy it versus having to throw it out. Or
absolutely. I had a great Cohiba Bahiki that somebody gave me as a gift. I was going to hold on to it and smoke it on a special day. I held it for a year, went and my daughter got married. We got home, I was going to smoke it, and it was totally covered in mold.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, someday is emotionally unavailable.
Yes.
It's always right around the corner.
Yep.
But never now.
Yes. It's like you said, saving that cigar for a special celebration moment. Not saying that you shouldn't do that if you know for sure that it can make it there. But our tomorrows are never promised. And so if you have it and you want to smoke it while you can.
Awesome. Man, that was an amazing comment from Richard. If you see that, Mel, he left another podcast he was watching on Mondays and came over to us.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely appreciate that, Richard. We'd love to have you along for the ride. I know you just talked about, Mel, about saving that special cigar. Tomorrow's never promised.
Mm-hmm.
We had a friend recently pass away unexpectedly, and he was saving some of our 1-year anniversary cigars to smoke on our 2-year anniversary, and unfortunately didn't make it.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow doesn't always come.
Yeah.
If you have it, as you said, smoke it. So what's deep thought number 8?
Deep thought number 8 is going to be that your phone will still be there when you're done, but your quiet moments will not be. So I recently saw someone on a Facebook reel that was talking about how her phone for texting, for calling, all of those things is supposed to be something that aids her in her life. And so she will wait sometimes to respond to texts, to not be on her phone all the time, because she was getting to the point where trying to respond to everybody as they were texting her was stressing her out. So unless it is an absolute emergency, most things are not time sensitive in the way that most people would think in life. At least that's me. That's
so
my
that comment and that phrase alone is the show. We can go home. Right?
Yeah. Well, we're not done yet. We still have New Year's goals to cover.
Absolutely. But a quick note before we get to New Year's, and this is something that I don't hear talked about enough. Cigars teach boundaries without being preachy.
Yes. And this is because the cigar is a built-in container of time.
Exactly. The cigar says, this is 45 minutes. That's it. Or this is 60 minutes, depending on the Vitola that you're smoking. Mm-hmm. And you start realizing, I can give myself 45 to 60 minutes. I can give myself a boundary. I can set my phone down and not deal with it. I cannot deal with the work email. I can simply relax and be.
Yeah. And I love that. It's a gentle approach. It's not like that you need to change your whole life. And it's mainly saying, like, I can stop and have a cigar.
Absolutely. So Leslie says, ironically, they had brought home a very special stout beer from Maine. We'd shipped the bottle to very dear friends today for them to enjoy, to savor the moment. Don't hold on to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're outside for the what ifs. Yeah, absolutely. Richard said, Leslie, me and Tina will be out in the ash holes tomorrow. Hope you're watching. We'll be watching tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. So moving into the topic in New Year's, I want to share a concept for 2026. The cigar time rule. 1 cigar equals 1 protected block of time. No multitasking, no guilt, just presence. I know you can't do that every time you smoke a cigar, but if you could take one time a week and set aside, leave the phone inside or put music on and set it across the room or across the table and just enjoy the cigar. Allow the cigar time to rule your time.
Yeah. And I think, you can scale that. So even if you don't have a cigar daily, you can do it weekly, you can do it monthly. We talked a lot about in our last couple of podcasts for Christmas and everything, having that protected time. And the principle of this is you deserve to have that protected time. Maybe 2026, if you can think of nothing that you would want for yourself, maybe it's scheduling in, even like you had said, depending on the bipolar, just one time a day of unplugging or focusing on yourself.
Yeah, and the truth is you don't have to earn it by suffering first.
That's the hardest part for people, I think, in a world where everybody is busy, and that's become part of the scale of how much you're doing, how valuable your life is how busy you are.
Absolutely.
And I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. New Year goals, New Year focus, and how to slow down for more cigars in 2026 is what we're going to hit quickly before we end tonight.
Yes. So we're going to talk about some New Year energy. So a lot of people are burnt out on resolutions. I personally do not make resolutions. So we're not going to do the whole New Year, New You thing unless,
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do New Year, same you, but calmer.
Yes. 2026 isn't about becoming a different person. It's about returning to the person you actually like being.
So let's do this Cigar Rebel style. Simple, realistic, fireside.
All right.
Early 2026 focus list, Cigar Rebel edition.
Yes. So like we had mentioned earlier, scheduling slowness the way you schedule how much work you have. Protect one evening a week for quiet time. Build one small ritual you actually enjoy doing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And like we mentioned on our traditions, when we were talking about traditions in our podcast, maybe you have one of those that doesn't fit in your life anymore. It's okay to retire it and think of a new one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then do fewer things, but do them better. Say no faster. And stop saving joy for the future version of your life.
Yeah, and let's make it cigar specific without being too rigid. Let's talk about how do you stop for more cigars in 2026 without turning it into homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
So keep a few easy to reach cigars ready, no digging, no indecision. Maybe it's a cigar that you don't have to think about. You just keep several of them ready and handy. Create a simple spot. Have a chair, an ashtray, a lighter, a blanket if you need it. Attach to something you already do. Maybe it's the Friday wind down, or it's the Sunday evening reset, or maybe it's that Saturday night movie time.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Keep it short, 30 to 45-minute cigars count, and sometimes make it social. Solitary other times, so you can mix it up a little bit. Maybe most of the time you're on your own, but occasionally invite a buddy over to have a cigar and just turn some music on YouTube and enjoy an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is not to smoke more. The goal is to pause more.
Absolutely. Because when you pause more, you make better choices. You're less reactive. And I truly believe you enjoy life more.
Yes. And honestly, I think you become more fun to be around.
Oh, come on. I agree.
I'm much more fun to be around if I have some downtime.
I agree 100%. So let's give our listeners a closing thought.
All right. So if 2025 felt like a blur, let's make 2026 be the year that you get to savor those moments.
Yeah. Fireside philosophy right there.
Do
Slow
my best.
down and savor more.
Do my best.
Yeah. So that's our episode, Rebels. Fireside philosophy from here in Southeast Oklahoma. It's cold. Leslie would love it. It's in the 30s. But cigars as a thinker's hobby, the magic of slowing down, some deep thoughts, and I hope you got a few ideas of how to reclaim your time in 2026 with or without a cigar.
Right. And if you try the fireside questions or the cigar timer idea, tell us what it did for you, or just let us know what your best deep thought you've had mid-smoke was. We love seeing that.
Before we head out, Mel, let's give our final thoughts on this cigar. It has definitely transitioned as we got into about the halfway mark, halfway through the second, third, maybe.
Yeah.
What are you getting on it?
So I'm picking up a little bit more of that earthiness. It's very smooth and buttery.
There's definitely a butteriness to it that I pick up. That earthiness is there definitely on the finish. On the palate, it's that smooth, buttery texture. And the smoke is so creamy. Off the foot, it's not. But when you draw it in, that smoke is so creamy.
Yeah, I agree. As always, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode and for joining us all year, especially if you have been watching since episode 1 or if you came in somewhere in the middle or anytime. We have loved coming and being with you guys on Monday nights for just a little bit.
Absolutely. I love when the chat room is explosive. It was a little bit slower tonight. Last week was a little slower. Just the holidays are a little bit slower season. I'm excited to see that pick back up. If you like this episode, Mel typically says, please leave us a review, share with your cigar friends, hit us up on any topics that you would love for us to dive into future episodes. If there's something like, hey, we would like to know more about, we would love to jump into it. If you're listening on replay, go ahead and drop us a hashtag replay fam on wherever you get your podcast. You can also do it right here in the comments on YouTube. You can also click that notify button so you do not miss an episode and all the great things coming up. As we mentioned earlier, next week is Cigar Lounge Etiquette for 2026.
Yes, and we are excited to see you in 2026. So
but for tonight, that's our show.
That's our show for tonight. So until we see you next year, keep your cigar lit, your ash long, and your palate curious.
Have a good night, Rebels. Happy New Year.